Yikes. That was a rough game for the Vancouver Canucks, taking a 4-0 loss at the hands of the Winnipeg Jets back at home for the first time in quite a while. I did just want to mention I've received some really good feedback from you guys that the recap portion of this video is a little less valuable than the my actual thoughts portion of the video. So we're going to spend a little bit less time on individual instances that happen within the game and more time on my thoughts of each of the things that happen in the game. So as always, any feedback you have, leave it in the comments below. I read every single comment. Also, another side note, we're going to be live on Wednesday for the game against the Jets. Hopefully, we'll have a bit of a better result. So starting at 6:45 with a nice little pregame show about 20 minutes before puck drop. Thatcher Demko, Connor Hellebuck go to battle in this one. Thatcher Demko, of course, has been one of the best goalies in the NHL as of late, and a rough performance for him tonight. But not like he was terrible, but just the team as a whole wasn't able to get anything done. It's going to hurt his stats a little bit. But in the first period, let's go into our quick little recap and more breakdown on each of my thoughts here. First chance for the Canucks is only 3 minutes into this game, and it's a nice little play from Boeser over to Horvat. He feeds Höglander at the back door. He's just not able to get all of it, and this was probably one of the Canucks' best chances of this game. Really beautiful passing play. Höglander doesn't get all of it, can't get that to go. But about 10 minutes into the first period, the Winnipeg Jets get on the board. Blake Wheeler comes in on a 2-on-1, and this play all starts from a failed pinch by Alex Edler. So on this 2-on-1, Wheeler just takes a shot 5-hole. A quick, deceptive, sneaky shot, by the way, by Blake Wheeler. Able to sneak this 5-hole, make it 1-0 for Winnipeg. It looked like Demko was sort of preparing to push off, expecting the pass. And Wheeler's release was so quick that Demko's just not able to react in time. It's able to get through his legs. And again, this play really started from Edler getting badly burned. Went for a pinch. Really had his speed exposed by a guy who's also not super fast in Blake Wheeler. I think Nate Schmidt did a really good job on this play, trying to take this passing lane away. Just obviously that pass didn't get through. He went for the shot and it worked out. So it's 1-0 Winnipeg. Quinn Hughes almost answered right after. He sort of snuck into the high slot, got a pass from JT Miller, and he caught the post. And this was the Canucks' first of 4 big posts that they caught tonight. And that was one of the storylines to go with in this game. But about 4 minutes left in the first period, Winnipeg looking to make it a 2-0 game and another 2-on-1 chance. It's Paul Stastny, Blake Wheeler in on a 2-on-1, and they go one way on the cross crease. Demko starts to slide over it, and then they go right back across. And Thatcher Demko, a marvelous save, sliding back to his right, gets the pad flat on the ice, able to make the save, keeping it a 1-goal game. Shots after 1, 11-9 for Winnipeg. As we go into the second period, Canucks go to the penalty kill. So Zach Mcewen gets called for a hold on the forecheck. And these are always penalties that bug me, right? I really don't like taking penalties in the offensive zone. It's just, there was no threat to you. And refs love to call these because if a ref lets something go in the offensive zone and it quickly turns into a goal, then it looks bad on them. So they're more likely to call some sort of foul if you are on the attack than if you're defending, because the ref cares more about how it looks for them if something gets called and then or something doesn't get called and then a goal gets scored right after. The Jets really were passing the puck around well in this power play. They didn't have a lot of great chances though, really keeping it around the outside. Zach Mcewen does get a good chance coming out of the penalty box, a nice little 2-on-1 chance with JT Miller. Failed to score. The other thing I wanted to talk about in the second period, Canucks also got a power play with about 9 minutes to go. Matthew Perreault got a high sticking penalty, had his stick sort of ride up Edler's stick, and this Canucks power play was really tame. Decent energy, like early in this power play, they were skating, which is something we haven't really seen from the Canucks power play this year. They've usually been very steady, very stationary, very calculated. And this is when they looked like they were trying to rush things, trying to make quick passes and actually skate around. No real chances came from this. Shots in the second period, 11-6. So 22-15 for Winnipeg after 2. The third period, the action does pick up, and it starts about 1 minute into the third period, and Bo Horvat takes a shot to the skate, struggles to get off the ice. He went straight to the room, fell in the tunnel on his way down, and I actually brought a prop for this video. This is a skate, right? And for those of you who haven't played hockey, you might not realize how freaking tough these things are. Because you think about it, pucks are flying on your feet all the time, right? So the pieces of the skate, right? you've got basically this big side armor piece here, right? So this entire side piece is just armor. If we tap this, rock hard, right? Same with the toe. You can see there's this big toe piece. You can see mine's pretty scuffed up because you have people step on it, right? That's what these are. You can see these little like sort of skate marks here. Um, Also rock hard. The only part, like even back here, these are just solid pieces of plastic, basically. The only piece that isn't is right here. It's the tongue of the skate, right? Because it has to fold so you can get your foot in there. So in here, the pieces on the side sort of form in, but you've got this whole area right in here where it's kind of hard. Like there's a really thin sheet of plastic, but it's malleable, right? Like I can fold it right in half. So Bo Horvat takes a shot right here. This is the worst place you can take a shot because your shin pad only comes down to about here under your skate or over your skate. Some people like it that way. But right here is the part, like this little square right here is the one part that you don't want to take a puck to. And that's exactly what happened. And you got bones there, right? You got some breakable bones there. So hopefully it's not a broken foot, but it definitely could be. I did like to see the Winnipeg Jets players trying to help Horvat along. Like they were reaching over the bench with their sticks and trying to like push him in the backside, helping him to the bench. That was nice to see. But if you think about this Canucks center depth, right? The Canucks started the season with 4 centermen. They're all out. Elias Pettersson's still out with a wrist injury. Brandon Sutter's out. Jay Beagle's out. And now Bo Horvat's out. So really you're left with JT Miller, who is sort of your only face-off guy. You have Adam Gaudette, who is kind of listed as a center. You have Tyler Graovac. You have Travis Boyd coming from the Leafs in about a week or so. So just a mess at center depth. And shout out to that Francesco tweet from earlier today. Injuries with the exclamation point after it. Yes, injuries indeed. All right, what else do we got here? A minute after this, Adam Lowry in on a 2-on-1. Really unfortunate play for the Canucks here. Adam Lowry tries to send it across. It ends up hitting Travis Hamonick's stick, who does everything right here, gets his stick in the lane to break this pass up. It just literally goes, hits his stick, pops up, and just lands behind Demko. I mean, what are you gonna do, right? There's nothing you can do. Either way, it's 2-0. Canucks still in this game, but this is one of those games where once it was 2-0, you kind of could tell, like, okay, they're just not coming back from this one. A few minutes later, Jordy Ben did have their best chance of the period for the Canucks. So this was sort of the one thing where if this had worked, then we might be talking about a different game. But Jordy Ben had a shot from the point, massive screen, like 4 people lined up in front. Hellebuck never saw it, hits the crossbar, their second big post of the game, maybe their third. I don't remember which one came first. But a minute after that, Ehlers and Connor on a 2-on-0. And again, remember how many times I mentioned 2-on-1s this game already? Well, a 2-on-0 coming through for Nick Ehlers and Kyle Connor. A pass across, basically an open net if this puck gets through, but Travis Hamonic reaches in on the back check to break it up. And I just want to talk about Travis Hamonic here. He was really good tonight. On defense, he made that solid play. I think he was doing well. Other than of course the one puck that went off of his stick and into the net, but again, he made the right play there. He broke up the pass, just an unfortunate result. There was a shift earlier in the game, I believe in the second period, where he looked like he had been learning from Quinn Hughes. Like he was taking the puck and in this breakout that wasn't working, just started skating around and like avoiding people. And it was a little risky, but it was cool to see. I did really enjoy Travis Hamonic's game tonight. About 11 minutes to go, the Jets were putting on a ton of pressure, just hemming the Canucks in their zone for this whole shift. Andrew Kopp ends up deflecting a point shot. So this is a shot that comes from the point, ends up getting through to Andrew Kopp, who's sitting on one side of the net, and he just deflects it perfectly on a 90-degree angle right to Adam Lowry, who's standing at the back door, completely just wide open. He just chips it into a wide open net to make it 3-0. And the Canucks just looked tired. The Jets were skating circles around the Canucks, especially on this shift. This break is definitely well needed for the Canucks. So about 3 minutes left. Canucks try to pull the goalie. You know what? Why not, right? 3 minutes to go. You're down 3. At least try to break Hellebuck's shutout. Hurt his confidence a little bit. You're playing them again on Wednesday night. Maybe get some sort of momentum. And then literally as Demko leaves the net, The Canucks give the puck up. Demko tries to hustle back, barely gets in position in time, but a Stastny shot beats him up high. It's tough for Demko, right? He wasn't set. He hasn't been, one thing goalies do is you're monitoring where everyone is on the ice. And this is something that every hockey player does when you're out on the ice, is kind of in your head where everyone is. But if you're Demko skating to the bench, you're not paying attention to where everyone on the ice is. So one of those things where he probably just didn't pick up Stastny, wasn't ready for the shot, making it 4-0. A couple of chances to spoil the shutout late. Jake Virtanen had a chance. Edler hit another post, their fourth post of the night. Shots ended up being 7-7 in the third period. But let's get into the pluses and minuses. And if you're not already, make sure you hit that subscribe button. We're at 1,050 something right now, which is really cool. Let's see. Pluses. There are actually a few tonight. Ottawa Senators beat Calgary 2-1. Love me some Ottawa wins, baby. Bump those up. Jimmy Vesey, I thought was pretty good. He was active in both zones, making plays in the defensive zone, getting some good time in the offensive zone. He had some power play one time, of course, with Tanner Pearson being out of the lineup. I thought he fit in well. He was making some good, he had some good puck control. He was making some solid plays. I thought he was pretty solid as a whole. Zach Mcewen, I also thought had a pretty good game. He had the Canucks' two best chances of the second period. He just seemed to be in the right place most of the time. I mean, albeit one of those was literally coming out of the penalty box and getting a breakaway almost from it. But another one where he just his positioning, getting open for a pass and being able to get those chances is always a good thing. And the last plus I wanted to mention is on the analytics side. The Canucks led in expected goals tonight, at least at 5v5. 52% expected goals. So you would expect, the Canucks would win a game like this 52% of the time, or at least score 52% of the goals in games like these. But they got crushed 4-0. So analytics don't tell the whole story. That's why you play the game. But they are helpful to sort of visualize, which team actually had the higher danger chances on the night. Just didn't go the Canucks' way this time. On the minuses side, this is a longer list. Alex Edler getting burned, and he got burned quite a bit. He got burned by Blake Wheeler on the Jets' first goal. Went in for that pinch. Wheeler walked around him and just left him in the rear view. He got beat by Nick Ehlers. Ehlers coming into the offensive zone late in the first period. Just a quick little outside in move and just left Edler just out drifting into the boards. It was like one of those shooting stars memes where you could just see him like drifting through space away. Wasn't a great performance from Alex Edler. This was a classic Canucks versus Jets game. The Canucks looked outmatched. They couldn't beat Hellebuck. It's basically up until a couple of games earlier this season where the Canucks actually played well against the Jets. This is when, like, for the last few years, you'd see on the calendar, like, oh, the Canucks are playing the Jets. This is the game we're going to get. It's going to be kind of boring. They're going to get shut out. And it's going to be 2-0, 3-0, 4-0 every time. And they also hit four posts. Like I mentioned, there was 4 posts that the Canucks hit tonight. And again, you convert on 1 or 2 of those, it might change the outlook of the game, but wasn't their night. One other minus, Montreal gets another game in hand. Their game was postponed, of course, against Edmonton tonight. Luckily, the Canucks game didn't get postponed. I'm not sure why it didn't. It seems like if Montreal had 2 potentially positive tests, or at least 2 players put on the COVID list, that maybe the team they played against 2 days ago might have some concerns. But I guess the game went on as fine, just fine. So Montreal now with 5 games in hand. Canucks don't get any points tonight. However, this does mean Montreal will have to play more of their games in a tighter window, condensing their schedule a little more potentially if this goes on longer than just a couple of days, which might be a slight edge for the Canucks, but again, it's not looking good. Also, another side note, if you want to watch my video on Travis Boyd, click that button up there. It should show up basically right over my Twitter handle, which I put in a bad spot. Game pucks for this game. For Winnipeg, it's Connor Hellebuck. A couple players I could have given it to. Adam Lowry had 2 goals. I think Stastny had a good game. Wheeler had a good game. I mean, the Jets overall just had a very solid game. But, you get a shutout, you get a free game puck. Easy as that on my end. And for Vancouver, I'm going to give it to Travis Hamonic. I mentioned him during that recap that I do think he had a very solid game tonight. And I don't think I've given him a game puck this year. So when he gets shut out, let's spread the love a little bit. Anyways, I think that's all I have. I think that's my whole list. if you enjoyed this video, hit the subscribe button down there, like I mentioned before. Look, I can make the graphic pop up again. Look at this production quality. Also, Twitter up there. You can join my Discord, follow me on Twitch, do all this normal stuff that's fun on YouTube. Like I said, we'll be live Wednesday night, 6:45 p.m. on both YouTube and Twitch, most likely, and everywhere else I can try to stream. Maybe I'll put it on Twitter. I don't know. We're going to have a lot of fun, though. Even if the game sucks, we're going to have a lot of fun. That's all I've got. I will talk to you probably tomorrow.